MARVIN FRANCE Last updated 1958 the 5th of December 2018 Sky Sport, Warriors suffer big home loss to the Roosters. Hannah Peters, Getty Images Roosters halfback Cooper Cronk on attack during the match against the Warriors. Anthony AU-YEUNG, Getty Images David Fusitu'a and the Warriors couldn't put it together against the Roosters. Anthony AU-YEUNG, Getty Images Simon Mannering, cut a familiar hands-on-hips figure as the Warriors lost to the Roosters at Mount Smart. Anthony AU-YEUNG, Getty Images The Roosters were pretty happy with their performance. Rugby League The Warriors have been punished for an error-ridden performance being held scoreless by the Roosters at Mount Smart. For the second time in 3 matches, Stephen Kearney's side were completely outplayed as the visitors led 14-0 at halftime before rolling to a 32-0 victory. It was the first time the Auckland club has failed to score a point since the 42-0 thumping by the Storm in the 2016 Anzac Day game. The Warriors were missing injured playmakers Sean Johnson and Isaac Luke, and the attack clearly struggled without 2 key members of the spine. Redmore, Luke out of Roosters clash up close, Warriors Indigenous jersey Warriors surprise, 1-2 punch Robinson anti-Kiwis June test and they could have more injury woes as fill-in halfback Mason Lino limped off in the second half with a leg injury. But Kearney would have still expected more from his team, particularly at home. Failed to match the physicality of the Roosters forwards, who produced their best display of the season, and while their completion rate was a respectable 70%, most of the errors came in their own half, which regularly put the defense under pressure. Having won their first 5 games of the season, the Warriors have now lost 3 of their last 5. The players showed with last week's win over the Tigers that they can put poor performances behind him following the 50-point hammering to the Storm on Anzac Day. But Kearney has already indicated that Johnson's ankle could keep him out of next week's trip to Parramatta, while the coach will be hoping Luke would have recovered from his dislocated shoulder by then. For the Roosters, it was the perfect response to 30-6 defeat to the Warriors back in round 4. Ad feedback: the Bondi Club entered the season as premiership favourites, and after an up-and-down opening 2 months, the impressive performance may just have kick-started their campaign. Their victory was set up by an impressive first half as they ground down the home side. The Roosters forwards have been under fire this season, but they imposed their will early with several big collisions. The one-on-one battle between Ignatius Pasi and Dylan Napa got the 14,000-strong crowd going, and Pasi was forced to receive several stitches around his eye after a shoulder charge from the Roosters prop. The Warriors only failed to complete 4 of their sets in the first half, but it was where they made their mistakes that hurt them. The amount of defense on their line eventually took its toll when Ryan Matterson strolled through a big gap in the 30th minute before Kiwi Joseph Manu crossed just before the break. The Warriors needed to be first to score in the second half, but a mistake in the very first set saw Blake Ferguson capitalize on a poor defensive red on the left edge. 6 minutes later, the match was effectively over as Luke Keary broke through some weak defense inside his own half to set up James Tedesco. Kiwi forward Isaac Luke then crashed over late in the game for the Roosters' 5th try, but most of the crowd had left by that point. Roosters 32, Ryan Matterson, Joseph Manu, Blake Ferguson, James Tedesco, Isaac Luke tries, Latrell Mitchell 6 goals, Warriors 0. HT 14-0, stuff.